There's a reason why action anime is in a league of its own. That's because when you watch them, especially really good ones, your heart rate goes through the roof. Sometimes you even forget to breathe. You rewind scenes over and over again just to relive those intense moments. This is the ultimate anime bucket list, your complete guide to the anime that matter most. Who would have ever thought that hip-hop and samurai culture would work so well together? Shinichiro Watanabe did, and it resulted in arguably the most stylish anime ever. And if that name sounds familiar, it should. He's the genius behind Cowboy Bebop and rolled the dice once again on this one and hit it right out of the ballpark. Samurai Champloo follows two swordsmen who are as different as they come. Mugen, the breakdancing samurai who is as chaotic as he is unpredictable. Then you have the classically trained samurai Jin, who moves like water and cuts like a razor. Together, they help a girl named Fu track down the samurai who smells of sunflowers. The action sequences are so unreal, where each fight feels like a choreographed performance to the max, under the backdrop of an absolutely excellent soundtrack. Lo-fi beats and hip-hop from the legendary DJ Nujabes make Samurai Champloo what it is, including that iconic opening battle cry. Samurai Champloo is truly a one-of-a-kind anime. There is a reason why no one else has ever successfully tried to make another one like it. Revenge stories always produce the best action. It's because the stakes are always personal, and the villain is so despicable that you're waiting on bated breath for him to get his moment of reckoning. And Afro Samurai delivers it in the most brutal and uncompromising way. The story sets the tone early when a young boy named Afro watches his father die in cold blood by a lunatic named Justice. Barely 5 years old, there's not much he can do, except make a promise to him that he'll return the favor. Thus begins one of the most darkest and relentlessly intense revenge stories in anime history. Every battle in Afro Samurai is an event. Fast, bloody, and choreographed perfectly to RZA's classically stylish beats. And it gives every fight this raw, visceral energy that just gets under your skin. Just when you think a fight can't get any more intense, the next one levels up tenfold. Oh, and Samuel L. Jackson voices both Afro and his buddy Ninja, who couldn't be any more different. Afro Samurai is a must-see classic. And when you're done, go straight into the sequel. Some anime ease you in gently, but Black Lagoon is not that anime. This series opens the door, throws you inside, and locks the door behind you, and immediately starts shooting. Black Lagoon might possibly be the only anime centered pretty heavily around the art of gun fu. You know those movies, the ones where the characters basically make their bodies an extension of the firearms they use in battle. It makes for some physically impossible moves to be made, but who cares? The story follows a mild-mannered salaryman who gets kidnapped by 3 of the most unhinged individuals you'll ever meet. What starts as a hostage situation spirals into something involving enough explosions to level an entire city block. Subtle is not the first word I think of when it comes to Black Lagoon. It is loud, violent, very foul-mouthed, with most of that coming from my girl Revi. If you want an anime that goes from 0 to 100 and never look back, this is it. I've been trying to find the perfect word to describe Baccano. Yes, perfectly chaotic ruckus. Dang, if I would have just brushed up on my Italian a bit better, I would have figured this out a long time ago. Baccano takes place during the Prohibition era of America and follows an eclectic cast of characters. Some lovable, some terrifying, and even others that are completely psychotic. However, their lives start colliding with each other, and it create some very violent and hilarious instances. Characters like Lad Russo, the tuxedo-wearing mobster who genuinely loves hurting people. At the end of the day, Baccano can be a very complicated watch between the relentless inconsistencies and the non-linear storylines. But don't let that discourage you, because the action is intense. In fact, you can say that it's action maxing, much like Pulp Fiction. And we all know how that turned out. This anime also has a superior English dub, which shouldn't come as much of a surprise as it does take place in 1930s New York City. Baccano is a fun ride through and through, but you might have some difficulty trying to procure this one. But if you had the means, it's worth it. Have you ever wanted an action anime that doubles as a fascinating history lesson? Golden Kamuy is exactly that. Sugimoto is a Russo-Japanese War veteran with quite the reputation. He teams up with a young Ainu girl named Asarpa, chasing the legendary hoard of gold. What follows is a race across one of the most brutal landscapes on Earth. Freezing temperatures, wild animals, and some of the craziest people all vying for that same prize. The action is visceral. No flashy power systems or supernatural abilities. Just brutal, grounded combat that feels genuinely dangerous. But what elevates Golden Kamuy beyond your typical action anime is that woven Ainu culture told throughout. These indigenous people of Japan had a long history of marginalization and erasure, which unfortunately is not an uncommon story that we see in many of the countries in our world today. Kamuy puts these traditions to the forefront, and you'll learn quite a lot about it. Gritty action and cultural education wrapped up in one interesting anime series. Golden Kamuy is the most underrated anime on this list. Remember the name. How do I even begin to explain JoJo's Bizarre Adventure to someone who's never seen it? Look, I know what it looks like, but just hear me out, alright? Hear me out for a second. Underneath all that flamboyancy and unhinged energy is a brilliant generational story about the Joestar family and their decade-spanning war against Dio, who is without question one of the greatest villains in anime. And if you want to know why?
How many innocent lives did you consume?
I don't know. How many loaves of bread have you eaten in your lifetime?
That's why. JoJo's is a meme fest, and I love its full-blown creativity, especially when it comes to the combat system. While I love Hamon, and it's my personal favorite system, the stands are the bread and butter of JoJo's. They're a manifestation of someone's fighting spirit, much like a persona, and each one with wildly specific abilities. And the ways to defeat them take even more creativity. Every season of this anime is a true reinvention. New protagonists, new setting, new rules. Yet it never loses that signature JoJo energy. Keep in mind that this manga has been running since the 1980s thanks to Araki-san. Now when it comes to the best season of JoJo's, now many people will argue that it's Golden Wind, while others will say Stardust Crusaders, but there's only one true answer. So here's a setup that shouldn't work as well as it does. A quiet high school student wakes up one morning with an alien parasite living in his right hand. The parasite missed his brain, and now they're stuck with each other. And that awkward, reluctant partnership is the entire heart of this anime. Shinichi and Migi are like the odd couple of anime. One anxious and deeply human, while the other is logical and totally unbothered by morality. Watching these two try to coexist while surviving an escalating war with other parasites who didn't miss their targets is truly compelling. The action is fast, super high stakes, and carries a genuine emotional weight. And the body horror. Ooh, the body horror. These parasites can shapeshift into anything, and the anime doesn't shy away from showing you the repercussions of it in combat. The fights are creative, intense, and get under your skin, both metaphorically and literally. But low-key, Parasyte the Maxim is one of those quirky anime that surprises you in every way, shape, and form. Let me be upfront with you. The Fate franchise is one of the most complicated franchises in all of anime. Ask 10 fans where to start, and you'll get 10 different answers, and probably side arguments with each other. Here's mine, and take it as gospel. Start with Fate Zero. Fate Zero surrounds a secret tournament. 7 mages, 7 legendary souls, 1 winner, who gets any wish granted. And all of it is executed with a cinematic level of bravado that is pretty hard to believe. If you love Demon Slayer, then know that the very same studio is responsible for this anime. And they created it years before Demon Slayer. The sparks, magic circles, lighting that crackles off the screen. Every fight in this anime is straight Sakura. The best part of Fate are the fighters, because they are based on people of legend. Like the brash and unstoppable Iskander, the honorable and prideful Saber, and Castor, whose terrifying presence will make your skin crawl. Some fans may tell you to watch Fate Stay Night first, since technically it's a prequel and you'll understand it better. But to me, Fate Zero's darker storyline and compelling characters make it far more intriguing. This is the better anime to start with, and you'll thank me later. Jujutsu Kaisen, or as I like to call it, JJK, rewrote the rulebook for modern shonen. And Studio Mappa brought their absolute best animation to make sure of that. Meet Yuji Itadori, a high schooler who is so athletically gifted, he'd single-handedly win more gold medals in a single year than most nations could. He swallows a cursed finger belonging to a powerful demon, and now he's hosting that demon inside his body. The only way out involves finding the other 19. But there's so much more to JJK than that. Like the super complicated power system that sets it apart from nearly every other shonen. So how does it work? I'm glad you asked, because it's time for another session of Otaku 101. JJK's power system revolves around a little something called cursed energy, which is born from negative human emotions like fear and anger. Now, this energy can be weaponized in many creative and terrifying ways. These weapons are called curse techniques. There are techniques so powerful where you can turn the area around you into a personal killing field where your abilities hit at 100%. And that's called a domain expansion. Now, the combat in JJK is a tactical visual experience. I just can't get enough of the beautifully haunting imagery and some of the most jaw-dropping action sequences ever produced. With choreography so fluid that it looks physically impossible. And I guarantee you, things get better with every episode. JJK is one of the few anime that can already claim that modern classic moniker. It's that good. If this list has you already pulling up Netflix, well, good. That's the point. Subscribe now so you don't miss the next episode. We've got 8 more to get through, and it only gets more interesting from here. Now we're closing out our action masterclass list with a Ghibli film who proves that the world's most celebrated studio can do much more than a heartwarming adventure. So much more. Princess Mononoke is heavy, and you learn it in the first 5 minutes. We open with our hero Ashitaka locked in a desperate battle against a rampaging boar demon. This creature is consumed by hatred so much that it's become something monstrous, and you feel that palpable tension. You carry the weight of every blow, and this energy never lets up. Now, because Ashitaka is cursed during this battle, he goes on a journey to find a cure. Now, he gets in the middle of a conflict between a nearby village who wants to destroy the surrounding forest and those who want to protect that same forest. Both have reasons for their survival, which means that they both have an understandable reason why they're doing what they're doing. This moral complexity is what elevates Princess Mononoke above your standard action fare. Every frame was meticulously hand-drawn to create genuine uncomfortability. like the demon mark writhing on Ashitaka's arm, or the wolf's fur moving with terrifying fluidity. Princess Mononoke is action with weight, action with consequence, action that asks hard questions like how to protect the environment while also protecting humanity. If you want to see what Studio Ghibli is capable of at their most intense, this is the movie to watch. 10 anime, each different in their approach to action. From hip-hop samurai to supernatural sorcerers, action in anime just can't go wrong. And you need to watch every single one of them. Now here's what I want from you. Pick the one that caught your eye and just watch it. Then tell me your thoughts in the comments. And if you've seen all of them, tell me which anime has the best action to you. I genuinely want to know. 30 down, 71 to go. This is the ultimate anime bucket list, and if you don't want to miss a single one, then you know what to do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.